Meghan ain't black. Meghan does not identify as a black woman at all. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am here to talk about the Netflix documentary about Harry and Meghan Markle. So before even watching the documentary last night, I was on Instagram and there was a snippet of Meghan talking about how her race had never been an issue, and for the first time in her life, she was treated as a black woman. And in the comments, they were going in on her, talking about she benefited from light skin privilege. And that's what she gets. She was basically knocked down a few levels. Now she knows she's black. And I thought, okay, that's not fair because she can't help the way she look. I just felt like they were too harsh on her, right? The first episode was jarring for me because I had made assumptions about Meghan. Like I said, I was like, okay, she can't help the way she looked. You know, you can't fault her because she looks white. So that was my mindset going into watching this documentary. And I soon realized Meghan ain't black. Meghan does not identify as a black woman at all. There's nothing black about Meghan other than her black mama. That's it. And speaking of the mother, I assume because she had a black mother that she would identify as a black woman. I've always assumed that about biracial kids. For some reason, if the dad is black and the mama is white, my expectation is lower for them in terms of their blackness, because mothers have the role of rearing the kids, and I feel like mothers have the most influence. I could be wrong, but it's just my thoughts on how parents take on the duty of raising kids. I always see the mother as the primary caregiver. If the mother is black and the dad is white, the child will identify more as black, especially if the child is a girl. I just assumed that Meghan would identify more as a black woman because she had a black mother. Long story short. Episode 1, they started showing all Meghan's friends, and not a one black girl inside, not a one mixed girl inside, not even a Latino, not even a Puerto Rican. It was very jarring to me. So I'm sitting there and I'm in shock. I'm really in shock. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. So the story, they keep telling the story, and I'm seeing Meghan. They start showing pictures of her when she was a child. Okay, she looked biracial as a child. And of course, the dead giveaway was her curly hair. She had type 3 hair, right? So I'm like, okay. So then she goes on to say, oh, we moved into a black neighborhood. I'm like, okay, here it comes. Here comes her exposure to black people. And so I see a picture. It looks like a birthday party. It's some black kids. I'm like, okay, now we're about to get to the blackness, right? We never got to the blackness. Meghan, it looks like she went to smaller schools. There were black kids in her school, yet Meghan gravitated to the white kids, quite obviously, because one of her friends that participated in the documentary was a childhood friend, and she was a white girl. Okay. So we see Meghan. I think she looks like she's middle school age. At this point, Meghan is straightening her hair, right? And I'm like, okay, this is the point where Meghan, I believe, chose to identify as a white lady. She chose to show up in this world as a white lady. And the dead giveaway was the hair. In all the pictures and videos that they posted, you never saw Meghan wear her natural textured hair. That's huge. That's huge for me as a black woman, because our hair can do a lot of things, right? We can wear it straight. We can wear our natural texture. We can throw in some weaves, some braids, all of those things. Meghan, you never saw video or picture of Meghan rocking her natural curls after middle school, especially as an adult. You never, and that's when That's when you have, I guess, the most autonomy in how you look. You are making the decisions on how you look, right? Meghan chose to look like a white woman at all times. Like, she didn't even wear her natural curly hair on her down days. So we saw videos and pictures of, her and Harry just hanging out. Meghan hair always snatched straight, bone straight, never curly hair. So I'm watching this and I'm taking it all in, and I'm slowly starting to realize Meghan ain't black. There's nothing. Meghan does not identify as black. I think I read somewhere where she identifies as biracial, which is fine. But Meghan does not embrace any blackness at all. The mother. The mother is a mystery to me. She's a black woman with locks. She seems meek and mild. Of course, she married a white man, but there were no family. We didn't see any of Meghan's black relatives other than her mother. Even when they pulled out the little family tree that the media was using to try to investigate and get information on Meghan, there was nobody linked to the mother. Whereas the father had his kids, I think his kids' mother, they had lineage tied to the father, whereas the mother, it was just her picture and nobody else. So I'm just wondering, where were the black people? Where were her relatives? Which goes back to another assumption that I had. You got a black mother, you're going to grow up around black aunties, black uncles, black cousins. Meghan did not, from what we could see in the first 3 episodes of this documentary. Another thing about the mother, the whole incident where she was called the N-word in front of Meghan. She never discussed it with Meghan. She never had any type of racial talks with Meghan. And I feel like she failed her. And I feel like she set her up to only identify as white, just totally disregarding the black side of her, of who she is, right? Um, like I said, she had this white husband. She did not talk about race with her daughter. She did not prepare her daughter for the world and how the world would see her. So I think Meghan took from that, okay, if I could show the world something different, maybe I can get by. Maybe I can pass as white. And she did a great job of doing that because, like I say, um, prior to her getting with Harry, I knew of a Meghan Markle. I never watched Suits. I never followed her career. And I never knew she was even biracial until she got with Harry. So I was pleasantly surprised to learn that she was biracial, right? But I just feel like her mother set her up for failure. She did not prepare her to be a black woman at all. So it made me wonder, did she want her daughter to identify as black? Was her mother even, identifying as black? Although she was black presenting, was she identifying as black? Where were the black people um, in her life? I don't think she had any at all. She went to school with a few black people, but she did not establish relationships with them. I just find all of it so odd. And then I'm starting to wonder, like, how was her relationship with her mother? How is it for real? Because even Meghan said she was a daddy's girl. So I was just wondering, like, what was her relationship with her mother like? And how could you not identify with any blackness if you're raised by a black woman? That just blows my mind. That just blows my mind. I'm not one to police blackness. I'm not one of those that believe biracial people are not black. That ain't me at all. The reason I say Meghan is not black is because Meghan has lived her whole life as a white woman. Meghan has chose to surround herself with white people. Um, I was just shocked to learn that there was nothing black about this girl at all. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed with that. Okay, so now we get into the royal family and the media over there across the pond. I think it was ultimately up to her, or it was her pushing him to disassociate from the royal family because Meghan could not handle it, and she shouldn't have to handle it. Let me just say that. Although she does not identify as a Black woman at all, I did sympathize with what she went through. Um, it, it it was fucked up. It was fucked up. But at the end of the day, I think Meghan could not handle not passing over there. I think that was an eye opener for her. But at the same time, I have to say she was extremely delusional in thinking that she would be able to. Just looking at the history of the royal family, the British Empire, they are the originators of colonialism and enslavement and all things white. She was very delusional in thinking that for 1 minute that they were going to accept her, for 1 minute that they would not see her as a Black woman, considering she got this Black mama. You know what I mean? Like, how, I don't know how she walked into that thinking it was going to be okay, that it was going to all work out in the end. If anything, I think that was the hardest pill to swallow for her. Now for the daddy. I was shocked that he just betrayed his daughter like that. It's apparent that they had a very close relationship up until the wedding. She did not know that he was playing ball with the media, allowing them to stage pictures. She did not know. And then what made matters worse, when she realized it and called him out on it, he ghosted her. That's crazy. That was really shocking to me. Even the mother was shocked by that. But I don't want to make this a racial issue, but everything's about race at the end of the day. But I just find it peculiar that it was the father, the white daddy, that betrayed her and took advantage of an opportunity at the expense of his relationship with his daughter. I just find it very peculiar that it was him and not the Black mother. So I kind of glossed over the whole royals and their treatment of her. It's not surprising, but that whole institution as a whole, I'm just curious as to when it will end. Like, at what point will the British society say, we've had enough of this. This is ridiculous. We got kings and queens, rulers by blood. Like, at what point are they going, if I'm wondering, are they going to ever evolve and say, this is enough? And I'm also wondering, like, is there an avenue for them to dissolve this arrangement that they have with the royal family? Lately, I've been watching a lot of shows that are all connected to the British Empire. For instance, on Amazon, there's a show called The English. They're also on Amazon. There's a show called Three Pines. I'm watching that. All of it is related to the royal family. And as a result, I got curious about them. So I started watching The Crown on Netflix. I'm actually about to start season 5. And when I tell y'all, that's a sad ass family. That's a sad family. I do not envy them at all. They are like they're caged animals. The way that lifestyle, or I guess their status in society, controls them, it is maddening. I would want no part of it, which is why I'm just wondering why Meghan thought that everything was going to be okay, that this was a good idea. Not saying that well, I guess time will tell if her and Harry will stand the test of time. But I don't think I would sign up for that shit at all. I would not have signed up for that. Like, once I started dating him, I would have started to do my research. She had to have done her research right. And even still, she decided to go along with this. It's insane. It's insane. I just think she was really delusional in her thinking on this. I really think she was so in her mind, she saw herself as a white woman and she would not be impacted. She has benefited tremendously throughout her life by presenting as a white woman. She thought she could pull it off. I am so caught up in the royal family, not just them specifically, but their impact on the world, um, which is why I'm going to continue to watch this show. Y'all should check it out. Let me know what y'all think about this whole thing with Meghan. But my main takeaway was the fact that she ain't black. We need to stop claiming her or sympathizing with her. I guess we can sympathize with her because at the end of the day, she does have a black mother and she is being mistreated as a result of that. So we can still sympathize with her. But let's be real. Meghan Markle does not identify as a black woman. We should not see her as a black woman. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think if y'all feel differently. Don't forget to like, please subscribe, and please stay tuned because I have more opinions, more reviews on shows. I've been watching a lot of TV lately. I don't know why. I have, but I'm going to utilize that by actually doing reviews on those shows. I may as well do something productive with all this TV I've been consuming. So stay tuned, and I will see y'all later. Bye.